We are now going to look at topic 2, adding and subtracting integers. And this one we have looked at a bunch in class. So this one will be a lot easier than topic 1 where it was kind of confusing and we learned some new things. This one you should be pretty comfortable with already. So let's look at the rule. When adding and subtracting integers and there are two signs next to each other, this first one here we have two of the same sign right next to each other. We have two plus signs right next to each other. So whenever we have two of the exact same sign right next to each other, it just switches to one positive sign or one plus sign. So this would be the same as 2 plus 2. Or in other words, 2 plus 2 is 4. Again, for the next one here, we have two negative signs right next to each other, two minus signs right next to each other. Again, they're two of the same sign right next to each other, so it switches to a plus sign. So this is, again, 2 plus 2, or in other words, 4. Now, when we have two of the opposite signs next to each other, so a plus then a minus sign or a minus then a plus sign, they always change to a minus sign, one minus sign. So for instance, this one here would be 2 minus 2. That's what that would change into, and this one over here would also change into 2 minus 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0 in both cases there. So the rule to remember is that if you have two of the same signs right next to each other, so doesn't matter if they're positive signs or negative signs, those switch to a positive sign here. If you have two of the different signs next to each other, then it changes to a minus sign. So now let's go through some of the questions below here. Add or subtract the following integers. So you can use your calculators for this, but if you're taking pre-cal next year, I highly recommend trying to do this in your head because you don't get a calculator in pre-cal next year. So example 1, add or subtract the following integers. So these are pretty easy. Here we have 7 plus 2, that's 9. Easy peasy. Now we have minus 2 plus 3. So in this case, we want to think about our number line there. So if you're starting at, I'll just put a 0. We're starting at minus 2 and we're adding 3. We're going to put a dot on minus 2 and we're adding 3. So now we're going to move to the right on our number line. So it would be 1, 2, 3 to the right, and we end up at positive 1. So the answer for this one here would be 1. And no, you don't have to do the number line for each one of these. I'm just showing you how you could use it. So minus 3 plus 5, again, you could use the number line or you could do it in your head. So minus 3 plus 5 would be positive 2. You could also use your calculator for this as well. Minus 10 plus 3. So we're going to be all the way at minus 10 on our number line and we're going to add 3 to it. So we're going to move to the right 3 times and that would land us at minus 7. Now we have 5 minus 3. That one's a bit simple. That would just be a positive 2. Minus 4 minus another 4. So we're going to be at, here I'm just going to put 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is at minus 4 here on our number line. And we are subtracting another 4 from it. So we're at minus 4 and we need to subtract 4 from it. So when we're subtracting, we go more to the left on our number line and we're going to go 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, I didn't leave enough room for this, but that would land us at minus 8. So the answer for this one would be minus 8. Minus 4 plus 4. Well, let's look at the number line we just wrote above here. We would be starting at minus 4, but this time we're adding 4 to it. So we're going to move to the right 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we end up at 0. So the answer for this one here would be 0. Minus 6 minus another 3 would give us minus 9. Minus 9 minus another 4 would give us minus 13, or negative 13. So for these next ones here, this is where we have the two signs right next to each other. So we're going to have to follow this rule that we discussed earlier. Minus 7 minus minus 12. So there's a lot going on here. Let's take it step by step. We have two signs right next to each other here. they're both the same sign, so we know it's going to turn into a plus sign. So in this case, it would be minus 7 plus 12. So those two minus signs turn into a plus sign. And then it just looks like the questions we had on the other side. Minus 7 plus 12 would give us positive 5. Now we have two opposite signs right next to each other, so that turns into a minus sign. So this would be 15 minus 10. Or in other words, 15 minus 10 is 5. Oh, look, 5 again. Again, we have two signs right next to each other. They're different, so it's going to turn into a minus sign. So I'm going to rewrite it as minus 7 minus 4. So we're going to start at minus 7 and we're going to subtract another 4 from it, or we're going to move to the left on our number line, and that would give us negative 11. Again, we have two opposite signs right next to each other, so it will change into a minus sign. So this would be minus 6 minus 5, or in other words, minus 11 once again. Two of the opposite signs right next to each other on the next one, so minus 2 minus another 3, which would give us minus 5. Now we have two of the same signs right next to each other, so if the signs are the same, that means it's going to turn into a plus sign. So this would be minus 8 plus 2, or in other words, minus 8 plus 2 is minus 6. Here's two of the opposite signs. So this would turn into 5 minus 11, or minus 6. Because 5 minus 11 would give us minus 6. This one here would be minus 6 minus another 6. So minus 6, or negative 6, minus another 6 would give us minus 12. And then the last one here, we have two plus signs right next to each other. The signs are the same, so it's going to be minus 6 plus 6. So if we have a minus 6 and we're adding 6 to it, we're going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, minus 6, and we're adding 6 to it. That means we're going to move to the right on our number line. So we're going to start here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Lands us at 0. So that is basically all topic 2 is about. So in example 2 for topic 2, they just get a little more complicated because they're longer equations. Other than that though, it's just using those same rules. So for A here, we have two signs next to each other right here. So they're both opposite signs, so it's going to turn into a minus sign. So this would be 5 minus 3 minus 2. And remember, take this step by step. Start from the left and move to the right. Read it like a sentence. So here we would do 5 minus 3. That would give us 2. And then we still have to deal with this minus 2 at the end there. So our final answer for this one would be 2 minus 2 is 0. For B, let's simplify it. Let's get rid of all these signs right next to each other. So we have a plus and a minus sign, so this would actually be minus 4, minus 6, minus 3. And then take it step by step. So let's deal with this first part here. Minus 4 minus another 6 is minus 10. And then we're going to minus another 3 from that, which would give us minus 13. Now let me put a box around our answers. Okay, now we have plus and a minus sign next to each other there. So it's going to be minus 3, minus 4, minus 1, because the plus and the minus sign would give us a negative sign because they're different. Okay, so then we're going to start with this minus 3 minus 4, which would be minus 7, and then we need to minus another 1 from that. So our final answer would be minus 8. Ooh, we have a couple of them going on here. We have a plus and a minus sign here and a plus and a minus sign here. So this is going to change into 16 minus 4 minus 3. So then if we dealt with the 16 minus 4 first, that would give us 12, and then we need to minus another 3 from that. So our final answer will be 9. Plus and a minus sign here, so this would give us minus 4, minus 14, plus, here I'm just going to move that out of the way, plus 8. So then minus 4 minus 14 we would do first. So that would give us minus 18. But then we want to add another 8 to that at the end. So that would give us minus 10. For the next one here, we're going to have two minus signs right next to each other. So they're the exact same sign. So we know that's going to turn into a plus sign. So let's rewrite this out. It would be minus 7 plus 11 plus 4 plus 3. Well, that's nice. They're all plus signs, except for that start where it has a negative 7. So then we're going to take it one step at a time. So minus 7 plus 11, that would give us plus 4. But then we still need to do this part here. So plus another 4 plus 3. So this would be 4 plus 4 is 8 plus another 3. So our final answer would be positive 11. For the next one here, we have a plus sign and a minus sign here, and we also have a plus sign and a minus sign there. So both of these cases are going to turn into just minus signs because those signs are different. So this would be 14 minus 4 minus 3 plus 10. So then let's start out with the 14 minus 4. That would be 10. Then we still have minus 3 plus 10. Then we're going to do the 10 minus 3, which would be 7, plus another 10. And our final answer, 7 plus 10 is 17. And then this last one here, we have plus and a minus sign here and a plus and a minus sign there. So both of those are going to turn into minus signs because the plus and the minuses are different signs. So then we have minus 8, minus another 8, minus 10, minus 2. Then we're going to start out dealing with these first two. So minus 8 minus another 8 would give us minus 16, then minus 10, minus 2. So minus 16 minus another 10 would give us negative 26. And then we need to subtract another 2 from that. So our final answer would be negative 28. I also realized I forgot one over here, so let's just fill this one out. This one's way easier than the last one we did. We just have one double sign over there. So we have a plus and a minus sign. That would change to a minus sign. So this would be 14 plus 3 minus 7. So 14 plus 3 would be 17 minus 7, which would give us positive 10. So that is all for topic 2. There are practice questions on the next page, and I also give you the answer key there so you can check your answers for that.